Hello, welcome to the session. We're starting a little bit late because maybe some people were late coming in, but welcome to REI USA forum and Zoom seminar that I am giving. My name is George Ansong. I am an investor, real estate agent, and entrepreneur. Um, Hold on a second. Okay, hold on, let's see. Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hey George, how you doing?
Okay, I'm
Good.
happy you guys were able to get in.
Yes,
Our
it took so long. I kept on for like 30 minutes almost.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, it
sorry.
just kept on. It wasn't you. It just kept saying webinar will start shortly, and it never did. So I
Okay.
went out and came back in. But I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's see. Now you guys cannot see me, right? Let me see here.
We could see you.
Okay, good. Okay. I was just about to start, but I would encourage all of you to stay till the end, right? I'll have a gift for you guys. I wrote a report called The 10 Mistakes That Investors Make and How to Avoid Them. If you stay till the end, I'll get your information and I'll send them to you, right? So welcome. I'm excited that you guys took the time to come and learn more about buy, fix, and sell. Before we start, let me just tell you a little bit about myself, okay? Hold on, let's see. Let me see. Okay, okay, good. Okay, let me just move it here. Okay. All right. Like I was saying, my name is George Ansong. I'm a real estate investor. I'm also a real estate agent and entrepreneur. Um, I've been in real estate for a very long time. As a matter of fact, I bought my first investment property in the early 1980s. I don't want to give my age away, but that tells you how long it's been, right? I went to a seminar called No Money Down. At that time, it was very, very popular, and I took that seminar, and um, it was a 2-day seminar, and I was excited because after that, I was able to buy my first investment property in Brooklyn, New York. I bought a couple more in Jersey City, New Jersey, and then in the 1980s, I moved to Atlanta area with my family. Um, uh, whilst here, I bought a few businesses here and there and sold them, and then I formed a company with a partner friend of mine called Quadrat Investment. Um, we uh, we were buying, fixing properties, but normally in the lower end, maybe 100,000, we fix it, sell it for 250, something like that. It was on the lower end. We did that for a while, and then if all of you remember, around 2008, 2009, you remember there was the market crashed, the real estate market crashed, and we lost some substantial amount of money. But I mean, I'm the kind of guy that always want to bounce back. Anyway, around that time to around that 2005, 2004, I was teaching at area colleges, including Kennesaw State University, their continuing education. I taught there for 10 years. Um, I wrote all my instructional manuals and I was organizing real estate mentoring and coaching. Took some people to my properties or property that we were working on. I did that for about 10 years. Um, Currently, what I'm doing is, I took my students on the field trips because I believe that, especially when it comes to investing, it's it's important that, people really go and see what's going on. I call it hands-on experience. I believe in that. Um, Currently, I have a company called GAV Capital Partners. I work with a construction company, Triman Enterprises. They are licensed contractors, so um, we buy, fix and sell property. But this time, my niche is we buy. I will show you a property that we bought and fixed. as time goes on, I'll show you. I was able to pull up. I think sometimes it has to be visual. So both of us have about 30 years experience in the industry. Currently, I'm writing a book. It's called The Cash Flow Real Estate Agent. This is a book, my experience as an investor and also as an agent. It's supposed to be coming out in December 8th. That is the website that I have over there, www.cashflowrealestateagent.com. Let's see what's going on in the next one. Okay, so this is my contact information. If any of you wants to maybe email me or have any questions, I'll try and make this what do you call it, interactive. You know, if you have any question or anything, you can just ask or tap, or somebody tap something. Let me see. I'm saying, okay, hi George, hi Bishop. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can ask. All right, let's just get started. Okay, now before I go into the actual buy, fix, and sell, I just want to give you an overall information that I think it will be beneficial to you as an investor. And I call it the 10 building blocks of a profitable real estate deal. 10 building blocks. I believe that like you're doing right now, being able to come and at least listen and educate yourself and see what's going on. I think that's very, very important. I always believe that when it comes to real estate investment, your education or trying to learn is very, very important, because there's always something new, something going on that you have to learn. I believe that as an investor, your education never ceases. There's always something new. I have been an investor for a long time, but I'm always eager to learn more, new formulas, new strategies, and stuff like that. So I commend you for at least taking the time to join in REI USA, because I think it's one of the best forums around to learn all kinds of strategies that there is. I commend you guys for being part of it, and also being able to at least come and join me to learn a little bit about what I have to say, what I've learned, and that I'll be able to impart to you guys. So education is very, very important. There is something too that I call winning formula. When I talk about winning formula, what I mean is that as an investor, right, what really it's your strategy. For example, over the years, this is my winning formula, right? We buy properties like around $200,000, $250,000. I'm going to show you pretty soon. In fact, let me show you something. Let me see. That will be. This is my first time, so let me see if I can. Okay, stop this. Let me see if I can do this. Can you see the what I'm showing right now? Can you guys see it? No.
No, we can just see you right now.
Or you can just see. You couldn't see the pictures that I was showing.
Oh, the outline of the class. Yes, we've seen that.
Okay. How about this picture that I showed? It's an old
Not yet.
picture. Oh, not
Nothing yet.
Okay, hold on a second. How do I show it? Bear with me. If I'm not okay. If I'm not okay, let me just go on. Don't want to waste time. Okay. So when I say winning formula, I mean, for example, my strategy as an investor, right? I buy, fix, and sell. So I buy. Like I cannot see my. Okay, now all of you came on. Let me see. Okay, good. Okay, all right. Okay, so my formula, I said my winning formula. My formula is I buy properties maybe in the 200, and we go get construction loan amount another 200, right? So 400,000, and we try to sell in the 550 or 600 price range. So that is my winning formula, right? So your winning formula will be you buy properties about 200, fix it for 150, and then rent it, or you buy it for X and do this, and so that's what I mean by winning formula. Something that you really zero in that you want to do. I think it helps a lot. And you're able to focus and know exactly what you want to do. So that's what I mean by your winning formula. So as you in the industry, try to see what your winning formula is going to be. Maybe before we go, I'll ask all of you if you have or what they call niche. Some people also have a word for it. What is your niche as a real estate investor, right? It's very, very important if you have that. Another thing that you have to understand is what I call the local market. It's very, very important because as you all know, if I ask you what is the market doing, you say that the market right now is hard because we have a shortage of inventory. So when you put properties on the market, it's moving pretty fast. Because of that, for example, people who are doing, buy, fix, and sell, they're able to get a property, put on the market, and move pretty fast. And it's possible the market might change whereby it's going to be a buyer's market. And then when it changes, then you should be able to also change your strategy and stuff like that. Also, as you all know, the current market interest rate is very, very low. So for example, in my strategy, that allows us to sell high-end properties because people going to buy those properties if they are able to get interest rate for about 3 or 4, very 2.5%, it makes their monthly payment very, very inexpensive. So if you're able to understand local market, it helps you as an investor. The next thing that we'll talk about is a team. You have people that you have to work with. You have a good agent, good lender, good attorney, surveyor, all the people, because we always say that investment is a team sport, right? So you have to be able to assemble your team together. The next thing is capital to complete deals. As an investor, from experience, you can go to the bank to borrow money, you can go to hard money, but there comes a time when those areas are very, very, very dry or very difficult to get. So you have to have a way to raise funds to complete your deals. And that's what I mean, capital to complete deals, because if you're an investor, you go to the bank, I think after they've given you maybe about 3 or 4 loans to buy properties, then they don't want to give you any more because of what they call debt to income ratio, if you remember. So if you're able to know how to raise funds, it helps a lot. Another thing that I talk about is what I call your exit strategy. For example, if you buy a property, what are you going to do? Are you going to do lease purchase? Are you going to do sell it? Are you going to do, even nowadays, Airbnb is becoming popular right now, where people buy property and clean it up and make it, ready, fix it, and then they just Airbnb it. Maybe 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, Airbnb was not an exit strategy, but nowadays it's really, really very popular. Another thing that you have to think about is what is the tax implication of your deal? In other words, when you sell the property or whatever, you have to pay taxes on the gains or the profit that you make. And there is something called the 1031 exchange, which allows you to defer your paying in tax over the long haul. If you are doing a deal, like if you are buying and renting the property, you have passive income, so taxes are not as high as if you are just buying and selling. So you have to also think about all this when you're looking at doing a deal. Okay, also, what is the risk involved? What is your risk tolerance? Because from experience, I know that if you are doing like the strategy that I do, buy, fix, and sell, there's a lot involved in it. Two risks that you might involve. One is financial risks, the fact that the contractor might take longer, and therefore you might not be able to have the money to make your payments as you are waiting to sell the property. So that is risks. Or maybe capital might run out, you might not have enough money to complete the project itself, and it happens all the time as buy, fix, and sell investor. So you have to also look at your risk tolerance. For example, if you are buying cleanup and renting, there's risks involved, but it's not as much as buying to fix and sell. The risks in the rental is that, you might have a tenant that might not pay, might not pay, and you have to evict them, and then you might have to come out of pocket to make your mortgage payments and stuff like that. Another area that we have to talk about is time involved. Real estate, it takes a long time to understand real estate. So um, you have to take your time, learn, know exactly what's going on. Don't rush it. If you see a deal, just make sure you analyze it. It makes sense. Run it by somebody, a mentor or a coach or somebody to double check it for you. All right. Um, and the last thing that I'm going to say is that real estate is what we call it's an ideal investment. I know maybe you've heard about it. Means is income. If you rent it, there's income coming. D is what we call depreciation. Depreciation is the paper loss that you incur when you file your taxes. Although the property value is going high, the tax loss allows you to take the tax law allows you to take a paper loss on your investment and depreciation. E is equity, the difference between the property value and the equity that you own on the property. I know you all know about equity. And then appreciation, that we know that over a period of time, property value is going to increase. And then leverage. Leverage is the ability to use a small sum of money to control a huge property. For example, you're going to buy a property for $100,000. You have 5,000. The bank gives you 95%. That means you've been able to leverage your $5,000 to go into a property worth $100,000. All right. So this is the overview of the 10 building blocks of real estate investment that I think as investors, we have to at least have an idea and know what's going on. Education, winning formula, look up, market, a team that will work with capital to complete deals, your exit strategy, the tax implication of your deal, the risks involved, what's your risk tolerance, so to speak, the time involved, and then real estate is that ideal investment. I, income. D, depreciation. E, equity. A, appreciation. And L, leverage. Do you guys have any question before I move on to our actual topic? This is just to, let me go here.
Yes, when you say have an A team, who all needs to be included on your A team?
Oh, okay. For example, I would say like a good agent, right? A good real estate agent, for example, would be a good member for your team. Also an investor that knows what's going on, right? A good attorney, construction crew, or handy people or construction crew, something like that. Appraisers, like I do like in my case, for example, we do buy, fix, and sell, right? So we have like a surveyor on our team. We have an engineering guy. We have an architect. So these are all part of our team,
Okay.
that,
Thank you.
that we can reach out to them, if anything happens. Over time, maybe as new beginning, maybe you might not know, but after when you get involved in it, you network and stuff like that, you're able to get some of these people to be on your team. And it helps a lot. Okay,
Thank you, George. Thank you.
Okay, now I'm going to tell you specifically what I try to teach through experience. So I'm going to tell you exactly what I do. For example, any of you looking to buy or get involved, right? I like to zero in areas that I want to invest in, right? So for example, I have specific zip codes that we buy. And these are the zip codes that I put over there. I live in Atlanta, so these are the zip codes in Atlanta area that we buy. And the reason is because we are buying at a certain price and selling it at a certain price. I was trying to show you one of these. I don't know why I couldn't just pull it. Let me see if I can pull it again. Okay, let's see. Now, can I say, no, maybe before I pull it, let me see, let me go there. Maybe I have to stop sharing here, right? Let's see. New share, okay, new share. Okay. Can you see this? Hello?
Yes, we can see the house. Yes.
Okay. This is a house that we bought about during the pandemic, early March, April, right? It's in the zip code in Atlanta, right? I'm going to, and then we bought it for, and I'm going, when we do the numbers, I'm going to show you, right? But we bought it for 249, this property right here. In fact, it's still on FMLS. We're selling it. We had an offer, but my investors were a little bit greedy. I was a little bit upset. They wanted more money, so it's still on the market. Anyway, this is the property, right? It's in the zip code, right? Now I'm going to show you. Let me see if I'm able to show you after we finish it, right? Oh boy, no. New, new 51. I can find it. Okay. All right. That's all right. Okay. Well, hopefully I'll be able to pull it, right? So what I do, well, what we do is we look at certain zip codes. We know what's going on in the zip code. We drive around, or the investors they drive around. That's what we do, right? And most of the time, we get our properties through wholesalers, right? You know who a wholesaler is, right? Wholesalers, they just are
Yes.
able to find, they are able to find properties, and then they sell it to, they are investors too, but they specialize in finding properties for like investors, like what we call rehab investors like us. We rehab and sell. So most of the time, sometimes you'll be able to find some properties on FMLS and stuff like that. But as an investor, most of our deals come from wholesalers, because they know the kind that we're looking for. So they see something that makes sense, they just call us, and then we just buy. Okay. So the first thing that I would recommend, that identify an area that you like, right? And try to know the area, research the area, drive around, trying to see what's going on. You know, I like area that is hard, that, when we fix property, we put on the market, it will move pretty quickly. So that's the area that we'll look at. Okay, now, so the first thing, identify the zip codes or areas that you want. It doesn't have to be, but areas that you like, that you're comfortable with, that you want to invest in.
Will you ever invest in San Francisco Bay Area or in California at all, George?
No, no. Somebody asked me, no, because um, I'm the kind of guy that always want to stick to like area that I know.
Okay.
Um, Now, if I want to do, let's say you're in California area, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I can partner with you to do a deal there, because you know the area, you know what's going on, right? So
Yes.
I will rely on you to like maybe partner with you or something like that. But
Okay. Because
but
I
most
am a wholesaler, George. I just want you to know.
Oh, you wholesale? Okay. In
Yeah.
California?
Yes, I'm in
How is
between
it?
San Francisco and Oakland, California.
I see. How is it going?
It's going okay. I have generated, quite a few leads, but it's just some of the numbers aren't operatable
Yeah.
and some of the addresses are not complete, so I'm struggling with keeping, trying to find other ways to locate these people. I have a friend who works for a title company, so she's been helping out with that, going through title company to, further get me information. But
Let
other
me
than
ask
that,
you, what
yeah.
what what uh what tools do you use to find the
So I'm on PropStream.
okay, all right. Okay,
Yes,
they're
I do
pretty good.
PropStream.
How
And I
about
just skip trace through PropStream
okay,
and
okay, all right. So you know what's going on. Okay.
yeah.
Mhm. I don't
I
know the
will
market. I don't know the market in the area. So
right.
um
I will send you some stuff later and maybe you and I can join JV on something.
okay, all right. What is the price range in those in the area?
They're like 200 on up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are those for like buy, fix, and sell, or what?
They are, a lot of them are, some of them are, and then some of them also are like houses that just been sitting for years, abandoned
Mhm,
stuff. So I've been really targeting the abandoned properties here a lot.
mhm, mhm.
But yes, some of them are fix and flips as well. So that's why I like to, I'm trying to get more information on that, um,
Mhm.
by being on your platform.
How about that? What's normally the ARV in the area after repair value?
Oh,
Hello?
and yes, I'm here. I was trying to close my door from the noise. So that's that part right there. I'm still working at the ARV. Because I haven't gotten a seller yet,
Mhm.
so it's been, I have, like I said, so many leads and it's hard to get in contact with these people. I sent out mailers for those who I haven't gotten phone numbers for, but I'm just waiting to hear back because I sent them through PropStream. So um, I'm uncertain of the ARV until I'm able to get into the property to see. I can see on the outside that it's
Yeah, but
needs severe
you can
work.
do you can do a rough estimate
Okay.
for the area. For example, and we're still learning. Everybody on it's a good lesson. For example,
Okay.
before I go see a property, right?
Yes.
What's her name? Michelle, right?
Yes, Michelle.
Yeah. Before I go see a property, I do the numbers. If the numbers doesn't make sense, I don't even go see the property.
Okay. Oh, because everything here is so high cost that it's almost a given that it's worth, looking into or even going to see.
Okay.
Here in Oakland, like the higher up in the areas you get going towards like Berkeley, the city of Berkeley, it's very ritzy area. So the value is not losing value. It's, even though the house is abandoned or whatever, but
Mhm.
the value is still there. So I've been going out driving for dollars and I'm still at my beginning
Hold on,
stages
give me a
as
second.
well. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Yes, Michelle, go ahead.
Yeah. So a lot of these places, they haven't lost value. The equity is still there.
Hmm.
And so, as I was saying, I'm still in my learning stages of doing all of this. So that's why I'm like on all the wholesaling platforms as well as yours,
Okay.
trying
Okay.
to gather more information to structure myself.
Okay. So let me just ask you before I go to the next one, right? In terms
Okay.
of let's say something for 200, right? In the area, how much would you sell for? Your guess, just a guess. How much do you think will sell for?
Um, I would say like about 50,000, 40, 50,000, because the houses are so run down and some of them don't have roofs on top.
I see.
And so for the value of it, the property, I think that it's safe to say that we can get them down at about 40, 50,000 and walk away with, almost all of their equity, because these are like free and clear, but they're just sitting there abandoned,
Hmm.
so, I'm still a little rusty, George, forgive me, but
Hmm.
I'm
No,
trying
I'm
to
just
get
asking
more
because
information.
anyway,
And I'm
let's go
glad you're
on. What?
asking me because it's making me think and trying to absorb more
Okay.
information as well as going out there and getting it myself.
Okay, good. You're on the proper path. Let's move on. When we go to the numbers, then I can tell you more, right? Because okay, let's go. So you select a specific area that you want to
Yes.
work on, right? drive around, see what's going on and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, because we, my company, we work with properties that we buy and fix, like we sell them like $500,000 or more, right?
Right.
So most of the time when we see a property, right, uh, it might need to be, we might have to tear it down and rebuild,
Okay.
or we might have to add additional square footage to bring the value up.
Right.
Okay, so that's why no matter I say, you remember I was telling you that capital to complete deals is very, very important, right?
Right.
So normally before we even go to the bank, we might even buy the property outright. We might apply cash for the property, right?
Mhm.
And so what we do is we raise money from silent investors, right? Maybe 3 or 4. I call them fund money partners that will
Okay.
fund maybe the purchase and all these things that we might need before we even go to the bank. Because if we're going to go to the bank to get the money, right, we have to
Right.
show them our architectural plans. We have to
Right.
have the permit, survey, engineering. Um, if we need that, arborist is like, what do you call it? Arborist is like, if we have to, in Atlanta here, if you have to cut down a tree, you have to have a permit for that.
Right.
Dumpster. Uh, in
Do you
fact,
have an
currently,
outline of all of these things that need to be in place as far as getting your business started?
um, what do you mean? In other words,
I'm saying like, for me to go in those order of expectations as far as having my business structured. Do you
yes,
have some sort of outline that I could like mimic so I will get, so I can continue to learn the things that I need to or structure my business according
okay.
to what you're saying right now?
Yeah, I have something like that. Also, like this thing is being recorded, right? So you can like listen to it a couple of times, right? And
Yeah.
and 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 and, because it's like a plan too, right? Like A, B, C, D,
Right.
look at the place, zeroing on the place, money partner that is going to work with and stuff like that, right? Um,
Hmm.
I have I have I have something. I mean, I can if you want, I can just send it to you. It's all
I would
right.
love that.
Hello,
Because you can
hello,
always
Thank you.
listen
George
to it.
and
Yes,
Michelle. Can you all hear me?
yes,
Hello? Oh,
yes, I can hear you.
may I ask a question, or is this a bad time to ask a question right now?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so I was listening to what Michelle was saying, and that she's in the Bay Area, and I'm just trying to learn from this, So Michelle, if you're okay with me asking you to kind of,
Oh,
so
yeah.
did my girlfriend lives in San Jose. And I know that's a very expensive area because she just bought a house, and it's a small house, and she paid a little under $500,000 for a small old house, up on the hill. Beautiful area, beautiful. And Oakland, is even more expensive. So these
Yeah.
houses that you say that are abandoned, may I ask you what you know about these houses that you found?
Yeah.
What do you
So,
know about the people? What do
so
you
that,
know about them? Are you able to contact the county and find out what the name of the family is who owns the property?
yeah, so I've been in contact with a few of them. There's multiples of them that don't want to sell. They just want to let it sit and look like, crap. And then there's
Yeah,
others
yeah.
that said,
But do you know that there's sometimes a reason for that?
yeah, they didn't
What do
go
you
into
think the
details.
reason would be? So
Some of them
in
that
other words,
said,
what I'm
a
saying,
couple of them said that they want to just keep the house in their family,
yeah.
and
And
then
they
there's
say
another
that
one.
because sometimes they don't want to tell you all their business, but you can find out some more details, I think. I don't know. This is the way we do. Is a lot of times what happens is either the mom or the dad or somebody who is living there who is on the deed, they're
Right.
in a nursing home. You know what that happens, right?
Yes.
And if they're in a nursing home, they can't sell it.
Oh, I hear you. Because one young lady,
Yeah.
I spoke up to one, and her answer was, "Oh, we're gonna keep it in the family." But I didn't get to speak to the actual owner. She disregarded me from
Yeah.
being able. So I said, "I'll
Yeah.
call it another time
Well, a
to
lot of
see."
times they're trying to protect the elderly mom or dad or family member or aunt or uncle or some family member. And they have
Okay,
to keep it in the family because they think that you're going to scam their elderly one, right? So they're not going to give you that information.
I got you.
So
Thank you for that.
even if they're in a nursing home, so you have to
Right.
wait until that person. But if you know the name of the owner, you can watch the obituaries, and it is sad to say, but
Ugh,
that is the truth.
okay.
Is
And your
that
Asamoah,
name is?
until that person passes, they cannot sell the property because it does not become theirs. And one of the best things to do is to get a hold of the trustee.
Okay. What's your name?
My name is Rebecca.
Thank you, Rebecca. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thank
I'll
Asamoah,
you
be
so
glad
much.
to help you if
That's
that
very
helps
helpful.
any, but I understand what you're saying. It looks ridiculous to see these beautiful homes. I mean, how much did you say that these homes are probably valued at?
Like 600,000 and 700,000.
Right. And so to sell them, if you fix them up, you know they're going to be worth 200, 300, 400,000 in the Burbank area. What you were talking about, you're not going to get
Yes.
anything for under $1 million there.
Right. Wow.
And the
Asamoah,
neighborhood, the honest truth is, like the other day when Pam Fisher had that talk, I think it was this morning. So she was saying that one of the best things to do is to talk to the neighbors and get friendly with
Okay.
the neighborhood, because they're not happy about that rotten house in their neighborhood either. That does
Right.
not help
Asamoah,
their
say,
value, and that does not
Asamoah,
look good. Is that right,
Asamoah,
Mr. George?
yeah, Asamoah saying this, the property that I showed you that we fixed next to is a house that has been abandoned. They come and cut the grass and everything, right? And we're trying to buy it, and they wouldn't sell it to us. And when people come to look at the property because it's fixed, it's in the 600,000 price range, then they say, oh, this house is beat up, so we don't want to buy a property that is close to this house. So that is, you
Yeah,
know, that is
yeah, because it
messing up
looks bad.
our this thing. And the people say we don't want to sell it. They just say,
Yeah,
oh, you know, so but
yeah. But the
I'll
thing is,
also
Mr. George, if you find out the reason why they don't want to sell it, what you have to do is you have to fix their problem. But you can't fix their problem unless you know what their problem is.
yes, okay.
Right.
So I have a man here in our community, and he has over $1.5 million worth of commercial property. This one, that one, a lot of different things. He went and showed all of them to us. His problem is that if he sells the property to us, he has to recapture all the depreciation.
Mm.
Do you understand what that means?
Yes, yes, yes.
He's been depreciating it, though, for 30 years.
Yes.
Wow.
30 years of recapture is going to kill him in taxes. So I
Wow.
have
That
to
makes
solve his problem. I have to solve his problem, or he cannot sell to me. So you have to become a problem solver. So
Got
you
it.
can solve not only the family's problem by helping them to realize they can get it in a trust. And then it doesn't, once the trust owns it, so everybody's got different rules. Here in Wyoming, you have to have it in a trust, or it has to go into the children's name for 2 years before they can sell it and it not affect their mom. Otherwise, they're going to have to pay the nursing home. You know what it is, like $5,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month.
Right.
Well, that's going to eat up all the profit of the house in no time.
Right.
They can't afford to
That's
do that. They know that.
that's interesting. I'll look into that because like we have a proper we're working on, right? And there's a parcel behind it, and we want to buy it because then we can, subdivide and build something. And the lady wanted to sell to us, but then within the last 2 weeks, she just did the property to a family member, right? And now the family
Yeah.
members, they say, oh, we're not going to sell, we're going to build on it, and or else they want more money. So we're trying to see,
Oh, okay.
we're
Yeah.
trying to
So
see
let me tell
what.
you, let me tell you what their problem is. I know what their problem is. Their problem is they're not going to be able to get the money to build it because they probably already own something else.
Mhm.
How do you think you can solve their problem?
So,
You can
but
solve
the
their
owner,
problem.
the owner
Yeah.
wants to sell, right? So they want to see, the
Uh-huh.
owner wants to know if they can revoke their quick claim deed and sell it to my investors, So we
Oh,
don't know. So that's
wow,
what we're
wow,
working on.
wow.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But it's
But
crazy.
almost you can have a win-win. You can have a win-win-win. You can help the person who has the quick claim deed, who now thinks they own it, and you can help the person who quick claim deeded it to them, and you can help yourself. You can have a win-win-win in that situation, I promise.
Yeah, we'll look into it. But that's good. That's a
Yeah,
very,
you
very
can make
area.
everybody happy. You have to
Yeah.
make everybody happy, and then everybody wins. You make the
Right.
money,
And
and
that's
everybody
exactly
wins.
the way it
There's
should
no,
go.
yeah, there's no reason to, you don't have to take advantage of anybody.
Exactly. No one should be taken advantage of. I thank you
No,
for all
you
your
don't have to.
information too, Miss Rebecca. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Mr. George. Man, I hope you still have some of those properties in Brooklyn.
Oh, no. Please, I wish I'll be a billionaire. I sold
Oh,
them. I sold them when I came to Atlanta, I
you
sold them.
did. Okay, when you came to Atlanta. And how is
Yeah.
the market different in Atlanta than it was in New York?
Oh, at the time, things were very, very inexpensive. It was very, very cheap here. It wasn't until, when you remember when the Olympic came to Atlanta, right? That really
Oh,
helped to,
wow.
yeah, that really helped to, increase values. But before, 2015, it's very, very cheap, very, very inexpensive here. In fact, until the market crashed, and after the market crash, properties were very, very inexpensive too. But now you can still get bargains. Don't get me wrong. You can still get bargains, and we get bargains all the time. And then everything is going up. So, and because we do high-end homes, so we specialize in different areas, like I was talking about. So let me go over here. So you remember I was talking about that we always use partners, because we deal with large sums of money. So we use partners to get all these things done before we go to the bank to go get money. Okay, so let's see the next slide is. Now, this is the most important area, right? Understanding the numbers. Remember, I was asking you a few questions, uh, uh,
Yes,
Michelle?
Michelle, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, now, the first thing that you do in your case, even if you are wholesaling, is to try to find out how much the property values will be after you sell it,
Okay.
after you fix it, after you fix it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, my Zoos, if you have an agent or agent friend or Google, what do you call it,
Well,
Zillow
she
or whatever.
has the person at the title company.
Okay,
So,
yeah, they'll be able to
yeah.
help. All right. Um, so here, for example, this is the after repair value, and this is a real deal that we will be working on next year, right? We bought a property already, so we'll be working on this, right? In the area, the property values are $650,000, right?
Yes.
We bought it. The purchase price is 169. Now, the purchase price includes the permits and all kinds of stuff that I mentioned there. So everything comes to comes to 169, right? The construction cost, we're going to go to hard money to get the money, right? The construction
Mm-hmm.
cost is going to be 250. All right. So purchase and construction, that is the two of these is 419. Okay. So the gross profit will be 650 minus 419. All right. Which comes to 231. All right. This excludes like paying agents, paying our investors. If we have one or two investors, we have to pay them, whatever agreement that we came with them. We have to pay maybe, what we call the monthly payment to the, like maybe $3,000 or $4,000 a month depends on how long we are able to construct, right? So this is just a gross income, so we go, let's say everything that we expended, right, comes to about $131,000. So $100,000 will be the profit, the net profit that 2 or 3 investors that invested in the deal are going to share, depending on the percentage. But I also have a formula that I always try to teach my students, right? In your case, right, you remember I told you the after repair value or what the comes in the area is 650, right?
Yeah.
So you multiply 650 by 70%.
Okay.
You get 455, right?
Okay. Yeah.
This number should include the repair cost or the construction cost and the and the price of the property.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yes. But
In other words,
I'm unsure about the construction price.
okay, when you come and you say where you say construction costs,
Yes.
that is 250, right?
Okay.
Okay, we come out with a figure because we know we've been doing it, so we know, right? And
Yes.
after a while, you would know that, if you have that's why if you have a team like a rehab guy or something, they can take a look and take you and tell you how much it will cost to like fix it, right? So it's a
Okay.
guesstimate. It's not like, but it gives you an idea.
Okay.
That's why
Yeah.
remember I told you that before I go see a property, right? I do a
Yes.
few calculations to make sure if it makes sense before I even go take a look.
Okay. I got you.
Okay. So in this case, so the formula that I use is I take the after repair value and I multiply it by 70, right? It comes to 455. Okay. Now,
Okay.
and then the cost of how much they're selling it for 169. So when I subtract the 169 from the 445, right? It gives me
Yes.
286.
Okay.
Okay, that means this deal is excellent because although I allocated $250,000 to buy for the construction cost, it's giving even much more higher number.
Yeah.
So based on what I'm looking, it's a good deal. Then I'll be excited. Then I'm going to go take a look at the properties.
Right. So as long as the number is higher.
Yeah, as
Got
long
it.
as the number makes sense for me.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So if you like, let's say in your area, right?
Yes.
Where you're buying, right? Let's say you've seen a property abandoned. Based on what you're looking at, you say maybe the property you can sell it for $100,000, right? And you
Yes.
can buy it for $100,000. That is in its worship, it's abandoned or 100,000. But you can sell it after you fix it. You can say, I'm giving you a number. So you can sell it for
Okay.
$500,000.
Okay.
All right. Based on this, right? We're going to multiply the 500,000 by 70. All right.
Yes.
Okay. So let me see. I'm taking my calculator. Okay. So we're going to take, hold on a second, 500,000. It comes to 350.
Okay.
500,000 times 70 comes to 350. All right.
Okay.
The 350, I subtracted 100,000. All right. That means I have 250,000 construction force to do it.
Right.
Based on this, just looking at it, I know that it's a good deal. And what is the profit? The profit is 500,000 minus 350, which is about $150,000 or something like that. So just
Right.
based on the numbers. So my recommendation is try to get used to working the numbers.
Okay. That's what I will be working on too.
Because even if you're a wholesaler and you're going to sell it to a rehabber like me, right? I'm
Right.
going to look at the numbers, see if it makes sense.
Okay.
For example, in the Atlanta area, they have been inflating their after repair values and stuff like that. There's no meat in it, there's no money in it. And if you are new and you don't know, you go buy it, you're going to lose money.
Right.
So
Okay.
you help them, you help the rehab investor
Got it.
faster by working the numbers, making sure, and you can even convince them. So like if I'm working with an investor, for example, an investor, a friend of mine, and I see a deal and we like it, and I work the numbers and I send it to them and they don't want to buy it, it's not because they're not going to make money. Maybe they're not ready to buy it because it's a good deal.
Right.
Okay. So this is a very, very important, something that you need to know.
Yes, and I will be working on these
Yes,
things.
yeah. It's very, 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 very important, for rehab investor, for buy, fix, and sell. And
Got
like I'm saying, even for a wholesaler like you to know,
Okay.
work the numbers backwards, because it makes sense.
Yes. Thank you, George.
I mean, you can put in your own money and stuff like that, put in
Yeah.
how much you're going to make and all that.
Okay. Thank you so
Till
much.
let it rehab investor make their money. Okay, let's go to the next. What's the next slide? Okay, we're almost done this now. Okay, now the next thing is managing the rehab project, right? That is very, very important, right? You remember I said you have to have a team, right?
Yes.
Like a good general contract, because one area that we as investors fall short is trying to get a good contractor to manage the project for you,
Okay.
because if they delay, to drag their feet, because every month you paying, for example, we do high end, so every month we're paying about $3,000-4,000 a month. So if it takes longer, maybe you were supposed to take 6 months and it takes 9 months, that means you paid 3 times $12,000 that you could have earned if you were able to complete it on time. So having a good general contractor that also works with investors and stuff like that is very, very important. And one of the reasons is because when you go get your construction loan and you start construction, right? The way it works is that the mortgage company or the lender, you have to put your own money to finish the first phase before they can reimburse you.
Okay.
In other words, let's say I'm doing a rehab project, right? And I have to do the framing, for example, an example. I have to use my own money to do the framing, okay? And then when I finish the framing, then the lender or the lender's inspector will come and inspect it and then reimburse my money to me. So you have to have some money upfront. That's why front money partners are important. Or you have to have a licensed contractor that might be able to at least use their own resources or funds to start it before they get reimbursed. So managing the rehab process is very, 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 very important. And a lot of investors get stuck in this area because they hired somebody, they didn't do their job right, or they didn't show up, or the time they were supposed to show up. That's one of the biggest challenges as a rehab investor. Or maybe going to cost overruns, maybe they were doing flooring. It was supposed to cost maybe $3,000 or $4,000, but before you know, it's about $6,000. But these are some of the things that one has to manage. Have to have a good person to manage. My recommendation to people is always that if you are doing 1 or 2 rehab projects, right? My recommendation is to work with a mentor or somebody who has done it a couple of times, and then let them help you or partner with them and do 1 or 2 deals before you go on your own. That would be
Who was your mentor? Did you have a mentor, Mr. George?
Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, back in New York when I get started, right? You can go and Google the name Tyler Hicks, long time ago now. TYLERHICKS. Back in New York when I started in the mid 80s and all of that. Yeah, I have a mentor for a long time. It's
and
very,
how did you find? How would you suggest to Michelle and I to find a good mentor?
Most of even in REI USA, right? There's a lot of teachers, teaching, right? depends on the area. Like there's somebody that teaches like wholesaling and stuff like that. Have you taken the guy's course before, Michelle?
Yes, I have.
Okay, someone like that, you can email whoever it is and introduce yourself and see if he'll be willing to like work with you, or if you have a deal to bring it to him and stuff like that. That's how you find one. You just reach out to people.
Okay.
Like for
Will do.
Now,
example,
Michelle, wouldn't
Yes.
you like to know who Stacy's mentor is, or who William Tingle's mentor is, or who Michael's mentor is? You know, they all have
Yes.
mentors.
yes, I know Stacy had a mentor for a long time. And Stacy right now is giving mentoring people. For example, I'm experienced in buy, fix and sell, right? So if somebody's interested in me helping them be their mentor, I'll be open to it. As a matter of fact, next year, that's what I'll be doing most of the time,
Okay.
So it's
And what
always good.
how will you charge for your
See, that's,
time, because it's so valuable?
yeah, that is one thing that I'm still refining and thinking about it. So I don't know yet. I'm
I
thinking
think
about
you
it.
need to jump in and mentor Michelle and I, and then you can figure out how much it's worth.
You said it, Rebecca. Thank you.
But your friend Michelle, she wants to do wholesaling, so that's a different area. I mean, I know wholesaling, but I don't do it. That's not my specialty. And I don't know what your specialty is, Rebecca. What is it? What you have an idea or?
I think that you taught me something today, Mr. George,
Yeah.
because I've done a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband has been in construction, and we've moved all over the country and bought homes because he would build a hotel and I didn't have time to get a job, and then tell the job, oh, I'm only going to be here 6 months while he's building this hotel. Nobody wants to hire somebody a short time.
I see.
So we would buy a house and we would fix it and flip it and sell it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we have done in the past. I would even sell houses that I lived in because I would feel sorry for the people. I take them to a house and they're like, oh no, we can't buy this house because I can't do stairs. I'm like, okay, I guess I could show you my house. It's almost finished, the one I'm living in. And I would call my husband, Roger, I'm bringing somebody to come look at the house. The next day we'd have a contract. We're like, oh, we're going to have to move out. Where are we going to go?
Okay.
I sell myself out of houses. But that's a different market than what Michelle is in. And Michelle, right now, I would suggest you go to Zillow.
Okay.
And find you some houses, because the houses you're looking at right now, you're telling me it needs a new roof or it needs a major construction.
Yes.
And that's okay. Actually, Mr. George has a lot of good experience. And even though he says it's not his expertise to wholesale, the truth is he knows how to do it all.
Right.
Yeah.
We could really learn a lot from you.
But this is my specialty. And based on what you're talking about, Rebecca, that means you are used to buy, fix, and sell. So in my opinion, that would be a niche that you can zero in, because you know what's going on in that aspect,
Well, for me, I'm trying to build capital before I go into buy and fix and flip, but I'm very much interested in doing it. That's why I'm here in your Zoom, and I will continue to be in your Zoom because it is something I would like to do. But when you don't have capital, that makes it difficult, and so.
You have somebody that maybe you can team up with, or you haven't thought about that?
No.
Okay.
So that means, Michelle, yes, you do have someone, but you haven't found them yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There you go, Rebecca. Thank you.
That's
Rebecca's going to be my mentor.
That's part of building your team. That's the first thing Mr. George talked about, is building your team. So what you're looking for is other people who have the money, and they will partner with you and let you.
They don't have the time. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
know?
they don't have the time, but they want more than the lousy percentage they're getting in the market, or they can't make any money with their money sitting in the bank.
Okay.
So you're looking for those people, and you haven't found the right ones yet. But if you're looking, you can, just like with those houses that need a roof. How do you find out how much that roof in that area would cost? They're all about the same. Drive down the
Okay.
street, somebody's getting a roof done, pull over and talk to that contractor and say, who is your
Okay.
roofer? Are you the roofer? Oh, no, here's my boss's card. He'll give you his card. Oh, okay, so you call the roofer and you say, you know, the house you're doing looks a lot like this other house over here. Oh, I seen that house, man. That's going to be new decking. You're going to have to fix that framing. You're going to have to do this. And about how much do you think that will cost, Mr. Roofer? And he'll
Got
tell
it.
you.
That's a
See,
good
then you're
idea.
gaining knowledge.
Got it. Thank you, Rebecca.
And then get a card like says a real estate investor, whatever, you know, and give your cards away. And at
Okay.
least you have my number or whatever. So if you have somebody say, hey, I have a mentor that I, you know, maybe not, but I say I have a mentor, Rebecca is a whoever. I say I have a mentor, maybe we can work them way, we can partner together, whatever, you know. You
Yeah.
have to let people know what you
Got
do.
it.
Or else you'll be surprised. You come across somebody, they like you, they trust you, they say, hey, we can partner and do some deals together, you know.
Yes.
That's what it's, you know, I say it's a team. That's what, like you saying, networking, getting to know people. Even here on the platform, you know, if you somebody post something or something, you can be asking questions. I'm always surprised how our platform is not very people are people are busy. I can understand that people are not asking questions and finding out this or asking questions. Say, hey George, you were on there. I really admire what you said. I'm trying to do this. What do you think? You know, just like
Right.
Rebecca is recommending, just get
Right.
out there. You know.
I
Uh,
thank you both so much.
and
Thank you so much, Rebecca.
find out what's going on.
Well, I am
Yes.
so happy that we found this REI USA, because it has a lot of good teachers that have some amazing value, you know, in their knowledge.
Yes.
For
Are
example,
you?
I want to move. I want to move into storage, right? That Stacy teaches, right? And guess what? I took the course because I don't know the area too much, right? So I have to learn, just like you.
Right.
And if I decide to move in, I'll be calling her to, maybe join her mentor, whatever it is that I have to do.
Right.
So that's what it is. All right.
Right.
So
Got it.
I just learn, like that's why I started with education first, just learn, read books and stuff like that, and ask
Right.
questions and participate and go. I tell people when I'm going to move on, but I tell people like what you do right now, right? Get in an area and like Rebecca suggested, drive around. If people are fixing something, you can go get their card, call them, ask questions. Some of them might not, some of them might, but it's all part of learning and trying to change your mindset, trying to
Right.
start learning something different, trying to get your mind going. And as soon as you start, so many, like now, I know later on thinking about it, so many ideas will come to you. Say, how can I also be in the market and buying and selling,
Right.
and don't like not have money be a big deterrent. Um, if you have a good deal and it's good, people would always. Let me tell you a story that happened, right? I have two friends. One lives in New York, one lives in North Carolina, right? We have a deal. The deal is pretty good, right? And at this time, my money is tied up everywhere. So I just emailed them, right? And they just came to my mind. I wasn't even, they were, I had the investor forum about 2 weeks ago, right? I mean, I didn't even
Yes.
send them the information, but 2 days ago, I said, let me just send them. And guess what? Both of them are interested in the deal.
Nice.
Both of them are interested. By looking at the numbers and looking at how much they're going to make, it just makes sense to them.
Yeah.
So it
I'll
happens. So
continue
Miss
to do my
Rosa,
work.
once you understand the numbers and know what's going on, it makes a big difference. It makes a
Got
big,
it.
big difference.
that is a good point. Michelle, there's something called out there in your area. Well, actually, they're all over the United States. They're in about 29 different states, but I think they're called Civic Financial, and they do hard money lending. So they're only looking at the deal. They're not looking at you. They don't care anything about you.
Right.
They're looking at the deal. And so, you know, those things you were asking George, like if you could get a list of all the things you need to pull together so you know whether or not it's a good deal. Those are the questions they ask. Those are the questions and so they kind of teach you, because they're like, okay, look, we want this deal, but we need you to find us this information because we don't have boots on the ground. You're right there. And they're in California.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Rebecca. I'll definitely look that up.
Civic Financial Services. They also have a location in Atlanta, Mr. George.
Yeah, I just read it. Check them.
Civic Financial. They're very nice, Michelle. And you can contact them. They want you to reach out to them and talk to them. They were on some platform. I was watching them this morning. I don't know if they were on YouTube or what, but they do bridge loans, fix and flip loans, rental loans. So sometimes you just need a bridge loan to help you to get the deal so that you can turn around and sell it.
Got it. Thank you.
I really hope that helps you.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Civic Financial Services, they have they're out of California, so they're really going to know that market.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to remember the name of the guy that I saw this morning on I saw him this morning. But anyway, if you have any questions, you want me to help you, or if I can do something to help you, you can call me.
Oh, thank you. I would love that. Thank you.
I'm going to give you my number, 361-537-3222.
Thank you so much, Rebecca.
Where do you live? Because I know you said you were in the Eastern time zone. Where, Rebecca?
I'm in the mountain. Yeah, I'm in Mountain Standard Time. So that may be why there aren't a lot of people on the call from this area, because we were told that you're going to come on at 5:30. Well, that's what that shows. If you pull up that ad that I sent you in the Facebook chat, and I let Stacy know, and I let Christy and Vaughn know that they have it advertised for the wrong time slot. Maybe because we're off an hour because of daylight savings time.
Okay. But I also since you reach out to me, I ask for Facebook friends or something like that, so you will see it, you know.
Yeah, I will. And could you, before we hang up, could you put your information up on the screen again, your contact?
Okay.
Because it was up there and I was trying to get it and I couldn't get it.
Okay. So I'll just make the last summary, right? The fifth one is marketing and selling the property. You know, you stage it. I stage my properties, take nice pictures, and then market it. So that's the last portion. So we're going to wrap it up. Let me go and tell you so you can see my okay, here is this. Okay, this is it. That is my you can call me, text me, or whatever if you have any question, Michelle, or you know, or even on
that
Facebook.
Would be wonderful. Yeah.
Okay.
It's always nice when you need just like, sometimes you just need a little bit of guidance to get to the next step. And you know,
and
you just need to get a little.
I don't see the information, the contact information.
Yeah.
I don't see it. It's just the house still showing there.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
What happened? Okay.
Now I see you.
Okay, hold on a second. You still don't see it?
No, I don't see it yet.
Okay. Let me write it on the hold on a second.
That's okay. It's going to be recorded, right, and put up on the. I can go back and watch just the beginning so I can get that.
Yeah. But
did you already get it, Michelle?
I didn't get it yet, but how long does it take for the recordings to upload?
Maybe a couple of days, but I'm surprised. How come I was just okay, hold on, let me see something. Somebody have to pray for me. This thing is always giving me a hard time. Okay, let's see. I was even going to give you a picture of the property that will fix. Maybe I'll send it to you later on, but okay, share, right? Share. Okay, let's see. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay.
Rebecca, you got it?
Yes, I got it. So if you
Yeah.
need it, you can call me. Or I can even text it to you if you just text me your phone number.
I sure will. Thank you.
Did you get it? I
Yeah, I
took a
got it,
picture
but
of it with my camera.
yeah,
Okay.
Oh,
I got it.
that makes sense. It's all right, me, right?
I will text you anyway, Rebecca, so we can exchange numbers.
Yeah. Thank you
Sounds
guys
good.
for coming on, all right? And like I said, if you have any questions or anything, just feel free to text me. And
Yes, thank
go
you
on.
so much for your time. And
So
thank
you
you
said in
all for
Phil,
California, right? Yeah, okay.
Yes, I'm in California.
yeah. And I'm in Wyoming, but I'm only about an hour from Colorado, and I'm 10 minutes from Nebraska
Oh,
and 2 hours from South Dakota.
oh, okay.
Nice.
That area.
Wow.
Okay. All right. All right. So
So I
thank you for hanging out with me. I told you if you stay to the end, I'm going to send you some report. The 10 mistakes that investors
oh
make and
yeah,
how to avoid it. I'm going to send it to you guys. So
I
just
forgot about that.
text me your email or something like that, and I'll send it to you. All right.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
I will.
Have a good night. All
You
right.
too.
Nice hanging out with me. I
Thank you
appreciate it.
so much. Thank
Okay.
you
Thank
for
you.
being here for us.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes,
Bye
we
bye.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye.
Rebecca.
Bye.
Okay.
You're
I'll
welcome. Bye,
text you.
Michelle. Bye, Mr. George.
Okay. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye, George. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. And